study the designing and the working of ring counter. This is also called shift register counter. Okay, so first we will see the construction and the designing of ring counter. So first I would like to tell you that in all the counters that we have seen, what we have seen that if there are n bit counters, there should be 2n possible state, means it will count 2n clock pulses, and after the 2n clock pulses it will going to restart the counting again. But what the thing that make the ring counter different is that if there are n bit counter, if ring counter has n bits, it will have only n possible state. This is the thing that makes the ring counter different from the other counter. It will have only n bits, then it will have only n possible states or n clock pulses, and then it will start or come back to the initial state. So first we will draw the designing, we will see the designing of ring counter. So for this I am taking 4-bit counter. I am taking 4 bits. So I have to take 4 flip-flops. So I am taking 4 flip-flops. Okay, so this is an example of a synchronous counter in which all the flip-flops will be triggered on by the same clock pulse. So let's say this is output is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. All are triggered with the same clock pulse. So positive clock pulse they are triggered with. Okay, and this is the clock. Now see, the word that I have written here is the shift register counter. It means it was just going to shift the bits from one flip flop to other. So just please recall that in shift register we have used the D flip flop. So here also we will use D flip flop instead of JK toggling condition. We don't want the toggling condition here, we just want the shifting of bits. Okay, so we will use D flip flop. So I am taking D flip flop in all the cases where whatever is the input, output will be the same. It will just transmit the input bits to the output bits. Okay, so output Q1 is fed to the second flip flop input, Q2 is fed to the third flip flop input, Q3 is fed to the fourth flip flop input. So this will behave like a shift register, simple shift register. But what makes this a counter is that Q4 is fed back to the input of first flip flop. This makes it as a ring counter. The output Q4 is feedback to the input of the first flip flop, just like a ring. It is just feedback to the first flip flop. So just like in a form of a ring. That's why it is called the ring counter. Now we will see the working of this ring counter with the help of truth table. So again we are taking one side, we are drawing the table, state of the clock pulse and the outputs Q4, Q3, Q2, Q1. In that form I am writing the output. So what I am considering that before giving any clock pulse, all the output is like this. Q1 is 1 that I want to consider. This is 0, this is 1, this is 0, this is 0, and this is 0. That I am going to make it assume that before giving any clock pulse, the output of the flip flop is like this: 0, 0, 0, 1. Earlier cases we have taken as reset condition, but now we don't want reset condition. We want let the output this counter has saved is 0, 0, 0, 1. Means Q1 is 1 and rest outputs are 0. Now we are going to start the clock pulses. So let's say we are giving the first clock pulse. Now we know that before giving the clock pulse, we should keep in mind that this is a synchronous flip-flop. All the flip-flop must be triggered on at the same time. So all the flip-flop input must be ready before applying any clock pulse. So now see here, first we check with the inputs. As this 0 is fed back to the first flip-flop, the 0 comes here, this 1 comes here as the input, this 0 comes here as the input, and this 0 comes here as the input. Now all the inputs are ready. Now we can apply the first clock pulse. So let's see, after applying the first clock pulse, as the first flip-flop input is 0, so output is 0. Second flip-flop input is 1, so output is 1. Third flip-flop input is 0, output is 0. For fourth input is 0, so output is 0. This time Q1 is 0, Q2 is 1, Q3 is 0, Q4 is 0. This will be the output. Okay, now we apply the second clock pulse. Again, before applying the second clock pulse, please check with the inputs. Now again this 0 comes here as the input. Now this 0, the present output will fed to the input. This 0 comes here as the input, this 1 comes here as the input, and this 0 comes here as the input. Now all the inputs are ready. Now we can apply the second clock pulse. After applying the second clock pulse, see, the first flip-flop input is 0, output is 0. Okay. Second flip-flop input is 0, output is 0. Third flip-flop input is 1, output is 1. Fourth flip-flop input is 0, output is 0. So the outputs are Q3 is 1, remaining outputs are 0. So you can see this bit is just going shift to the left. You can make it shift to the right as well. So it is just shifting from one bit to the other bit. Now we apply the third clock pulse. Again, before applying the clock pulse, we have to check with the inputs. So what will happen again? 0 is the input. So 0 is the input. 0 is the input for the second flip-flop. 0 is the input for the third flip-flop. 1 is the input for the fourth flip-flop. Now we can apply the third clock pulse. So you can see, after applying the third clock pulse, this 0 is the input, so 0 is the output of the first, 0 is the input of second, 0 is the output of second, 0 is the input of third, 0 is the output of third, and 1 is the input of fourth, so 1 is the output of fourth. So Q4 is 1, remainings are 0. Now we will apply the fourth clock pulse. Okay, now again we check with the inputs. This 1 comes here as the input. Okay, now 0 for the input for the second flip-flop, 0 is the input for the third flip-flop, 0 is the input for the fourth flip-flop. Now we can apply the fourth clock pulse. What will happen? This 1 comes here across Q1, 0 comes here across Q2, 0 comes here across Q3, and 0 comes here across Q4. So output is 0, 0, 0, 1. So look at this. It will just count 4 states from 0 to 3, 4 pulses. And after that it will come to the initial state. So it will just have 4 pulses and then it will come to the initial state. So how many states will it pass to get the initial state back? So it will just pass the n states to come to get the initial state back. So look at this, 0, 1, 2, 3. It will just count 0, 1, 2, 3, and when you apply the next clock pulse, you will get the same initial state. So this is just the ring counter, and in which it will count only the n clock pulses. So each clock frequency, each state frequency will be given as total frequency by total number of states, means n possible states. So this will give the total each state frequency. So this is all about the ring counter. In the next video we will discuss about the twisted ring counter or Johnson's counter. Thank you.